So first of all, very good morning to online and offline people. What we are going to do in today's class is that we'll cover science and technology and also ecology and environment. Both topics we are going to cover. So let me just give you a brief aspect of that and then we'll start with the topics. You all have this soft copies of this document. Have you got the soft copy? It's not there. I'll just so in the during the break time, what we'll do is that after 2 hours we'll take a break, right? Because continuously it is not possible to go for 4 hours. So we'll take a break and then I will ask them to give you the soft copy, right? So let us just go into certain areas here. All right. See, first thing is that if you look at science and technology area, S&T, I have already said that one area which you have to always focus from space and astronomy thing here. There's one area where questions are asked, right? Now, when you are reading current affairs materials, right? Whichever coaching institute, like now in the market, all institutes current affairs materials are available, right? So whether it's a Vision or whichever institute, all are available there. They will be covering these areas of topic. So what you need to be very, very important that see the major highlight. See one area which I have covered previous time also, this time also, that ISRO. That you all are aware of the lunar mission or Mangalyaan, Gaganyaan, all these are there. But again, look into this kind of a global development. Let's say NASA spacecraft. I mentioned yesterday Psyche. Psyche is for asteroid, right? Then there is a mission JUICE, JUICE. That's for the Jupiter's moon, right? You know, Jupiter has got so many moons. So any such mission, like let's say, when you talk about the American space agencies, you have this mission for asteroid, then this for the Jupiter's part of it, right? Juno was the spacecraft sent by NASA to study Jupiter, the largest planet of the solar system, right? Then, you know, apart from that, you'll come across this name, New Horizon. New Horizon was a spacecraft sent to study Pluto. And you all know Pluto is a dwarf planet. Now it has been called as a dwarf planet. And after Pluto, there are other celestial bodies also there. In our own solar system, what is something called Kuiper Belt object, KBO. Kuiper Belt is the place in solar system where Pluto and beyond the Pluto, that area of solar system. So KBOs, Kuiper Belt objects. For that, New Horizon is there. Then you will also come across this one, Osiris Rex. What is Osiris Rex? There is a NASA mission to study a near Earth asteroid. You know, asteroid belt is between Jupiter and Mars. But sometimes, you know, the asteroid may be coming near to the Earth. So near Earth asteroid called Bennu. There's an asteroid called Bennu. So what NASA did, send a Osiris Rex. It landed on Bennu, collected asteroid sample, and returned back. It's basically asteroid sample return mission. Why scientists are studying asteroid samples, comet, and all this? There's also one theory which says that life on the Earth is extraterrestrial. That means the origin of life, evolution of life on the Earth. And the material which was required to start or begin the life that came from outside. Maybe comet, maybe asteroid. So they're trying to investigate such areas there. So any such mission which you come across in news, you have to be aware of it. Similarly, I have said JAXA, like for lunar mission, the SLIM, soft landing on the moon, right? Japan has done that. So anything which you come across worldwide, any space program, any space mission, you have to be aware of because you will get direct question on that, right? I will be covering certain more topics, but you have to be properly. Now, what is very important? Science and technology, what is one very important thing? You have to remember facts. and there are questions in the exam which are direct mission objective or mission with the facts will be there, right? I'll just give you example. Let me give you example that will make you more better to understand. Like for example, suppose today we will discuss question also there. You will be getting the question in the classroom, and I'm going to discuss you what is the approach to deal with such kind of questions in the exam. How you are going to tackle. When you are in the exam hall, all topics you are not aware, all questions are not aware. But how you can solve such problems, I will be dealing in the classroom. So once the question paper is ready, I'll be giving that. Let's say for example, if you get a question like this, which of following pairs is are correctly matched? Sometimes you just go back to PYQs, previous year question. One question, at least minimum one question will be of this type. Minimum I'm talking about. See, UPSC has a combination of question. Two statement type question, one only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. Now they have started statement one, statement two. That kind of question is there. Multiple statement, three statement, four statement type question, right? Another one is this one, pairs. Let's say for example, spacecraft, right? And let's say, now this is factual. This is a very factual question. Either you know or you don't know. And there will be certain type of question. Let's say for example, I am giving here proba. That kind of question. Let's say proba 3, Lisa, ESA, and then let's say third, which I'm now giving here, is a very, it has made headline also there. Not the grapes, I'll give you something different one here. Suppose I'm giving here, which you are aware of it. Only one pair, only two pairs, all three pairs, none of the above pairs. Now this is completely factual question, completely based on fact. Which spacecraft, which agency? See, a question setter can ask question in different ways. I'm just giving you example. Now, how do you tackle this kind of problem? Let's say you are aware that Psyche, you are aware, is not Japan, rather it is a NASA. Do you know that this is wrong? It has to be NASA, American Space Agency. If a student has read further and is aware about gravitational wave, LISA, see here, LISA stands for this one, laser interference, right? Is a satellite system there. Gravity wave or gravitational wave, according to Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity, says that space and time, this is space, three-dimensional space, which is linked with time. And when there is change in space time, it generates wave called gravity wave or gravitational wave. Right? Now, such a rapid expansion and contraction of space can only produce a gravity wave. And where it is produced, if you look at the universe, It may be a supernova. It may be something black hole which may collapse. Two black holes which collapse or collide with each other. Then the space and time will change rapidly. Supernova, when the star bursts, space time will change. So there gravity waves are formed and they come from outer space to Earth. So if we can capture that wave in the space, for that there is a mission. This is correct. European Space Agency, ESA. ESA mission is correct. Now ESA is making ELISA, Evolved LISA. You all are aware, you have read that Nobel Prize has been given for LIGO, Laser Interference Gravitational Wave Observatory, and that was done in the US. Now India is also preparing to develop same type of LIGO setup in India, what is called Indigo, India LIGO. But what is the LISA? Is a satellite in the space which will capture gravity waves. So if you have read, suppose you have read previous year question paper, PYQs, you are aware of such kind of thing there, then you know that ESA is involved with that. And when it comes to first one, Proba 3, again, if you have read current affairs, then you will be able to make it out. Proba 3 is European Space Agency, ESA. Now what is Proba 3? I'll tell you that. It is a kind of which will be in the news. This satellite will be launched by India. We are going to launch by PSLV. And you remember that we have three types of PSLV: standard, core alone, and the most heaviest PSLV we have XL, extra large. Proba 3. Now European Space Agency. Now what is here? This is for study of corona of the sun. See, UPSC is very smart. Everybody knows Aditya. Everybody knows about Aditya. All current affairs materials have covered Aditya mission, Lagrange point 1, Aditya mission. But UPSC would also expect that, do you know which are the other missions for study of sun? See, one mission you are aware about, India's mission. And if you remember that, yesterday I mentioned this name, SOHO. And I have told you that SOHO is a joint mission of NASA and ESA. Right? Joint mission of NASA and ESA is SOHO. And is also in Lagrange point 1, L1 point. Now, Proba 3 is a spacecraft to study corona, something called chronograph, corona of the sun, being launched by ISRO. We launch foreign satellite, foreign kind of thing there, and we earn revenue from there. So this type of question becomes very, very risky. So if you look at here, the answer is only one pair. Now what you have to do in this kind of question? If you are not sure, don't attempt, because you will end up with wrong answer. Are you able to understand? If you are thoroughly with the fact, if you know the fact, you have read about Proba 3, you have read about LISA, then only you can take. Now let's look at here. I'll just take it here, say here. So you should always remember that when you are preparing for the exam, now you have less than 30 days, whichever subject you are reading, whichever subject, whether it's the SNT, environment, geography, disaster, history, art and culture, economy, polity, always keep ready with your laptop or mobile phone or tab, whatever you have, device. And whenever you are reading any current affairs, take up the keyword and do the Google search. Why I'm telling you to do this? You are reading the material. Let's say you are reading this material. So you know what is given in the material. But at the same time, you had something like, okay, this word, let me go further. Like suppose I mentioned Proba 3. right? So let's say Proba 3 I have mentioned. So I'm just doing the search here. You got the link. See, again, you don't have to spend too much of time. Only the main thing here. See, if you are looking here, just home page will come there, first link. You don't have to go to all the links. Maybe sometime coaching institute, there's so many coaching institute, Drishti, Vision, Insight, all this will come. They will also have a material there. You will just search there. Now, if you have this Proba 3, a pair of satellite will fly together, large rigid structure, and you see here, solar chronograph, outer corona of the sun. To study that chronograph is an instrument which will be carried by this particular satellite. You can see here, what is given here, studies sun's corona closer to the solar rim, right? Two spacecrafts are there. And you can see here, launch date 2024, then orbit, high Earth orbit. What is high Earth orbit? Above 36,000 kilometers. See, anything up to 1,000 kilometers, 2,000, low Earth orbit. Up to 36,000, medium Earth orbit. 36,000 and above, that is a high Earth orbit. So given here, high Earth orbit, 60,530 kilometers. Then you can see here, this is what is mentioned here. So this you will find here. But again, what is very important thing here, that India is going to launch this satellite. See, what is Proba mission? People also ask here. Solar chronosphere there, right? You'll be getting this kind of thing. That's what it says. Now I've said what? LISA. I mentioned this word LISA. LISA was already in the news and UPSC has already asked the question. LISA, and I'm writing here ESA, European Space Agency. Right? Sometimes there may be collaboration. There may be collaboration with some agency. ESA work with NASA, but is primarily by the ESA. And what is laser? Whenever what LI comes, laser interference. That means with full confidence. Wherever the word laser interference comes, with full confidence you can take gravity wave, gravitational wave. Right? You can see here. Laser interferometer space antenna, long with the plan that mid 2030, gravitational universe. Right? Again you can see what is LISA ESA approved? What is the difference between ELISA and all this? What is the budget? Right? What does LISA stand for? NASA. You'll find all this mentioned here. And can you see the photograph? These are two black holes. Two black holes which are supermassive, supermassive with a strong gravity field. They can attract each other and collapse. So what will happen? The space will change. And that produces a gravity wave, gravitational wave. This is what you find here. I mentioned here, LISA factory here. See here, 2030 they have planned for. Third class mission here, like given here. First space-borne or space-based observatory dedicated to studying gravitational waves. Again, this is a factual. If you are aware of the fact, you can easily solve the question here. Right? So that's what you have to, whenever you're reading material, underline the fact. Don't write it down because you don't have time to write it down everything. You're just underlining it so that just 1 week before the exam, you are seeing that, okay, these are the facts. This is what you have to remember. Right? So this is what I have mentioned here. This is what you find there. LIGO and all is given there. Earlier it was done there. So what is very important thing, when you are coming across, the one area will be space and astronomy. So whichever material, but again remember that, don't go after so many current affair materials, fix 2 or 3. Because 90% of the content will be the same, I'll tell you that. 90% of science and technology, 90% content what I have found is similar in all types of, all materials of a coaching institute. Let's say science and technology, you will read from any such materials, will be common. So don't go for so many because you don't have time. Now main thing is that you have a time crunch and you cannot read so many materials. For science and technology, just keep two or three. One, I am mentioning some of the areas Amigos have got. You can refer to PT 365, that material is there, and you can see the insight and something of that. Right? So at least you get that idea. Okay, these are the things which you have to remember for the examination. So one thing which you know, ISRO mission, which you all are aware, and I am very confident, if any question comes from ISRO, Chandrayaan or Aditya, Gaganyaan, Nisar, you will solve it. No doubt about it. Because you are aware of it. Only the risk comes something global level. If something is happening at the global level, there you have to be aware of it. And at the same time, remember that I have told in the classroom, if you are getting some kind of question you have not read anywhere, you're totally unaware, don't risk it. Leave that question. Because if you are not totally aware, you will definitely end up with wrong answer. Answer will not be correct. And that will reduce your overall score. That will go down. Right? Particularly, you have to be careful with the factual question, fact-based question. See, if the question is conceptual, you can make it out. You can use something sense and you can eliminate. But if the question is fact-based, either you know or you don't know. You should not attempt there. If you are aware, then attempt. Otherwise, leave it. So one or two questions will be on science and technology, factual question, fact-based question. Right? So this is what I mentioned here. Now again, another fact is this one. But I'll tell you one very important thing. Let me give you an idea here. Last year, UPSC already asked question. See what UPSC generally do. Defense questions are asked with a gap. Let's say if question asked in last year, then UPSC will ask after 1 or 2 years. And again, defense question is always in the current affairs. Whether it's a missile or rocket, fighter jet, all these are in the news. Right? So UPSC doesn't feel like asking the question like that. Now I'll tell you that since last year, ballistic cruise was asked, and UPSC is very smart. UPSC knows very well that all coaching institute materials, all coaching institute would have taught all types of missiles. So this year they will not ask. There is no question. There is no question on the missile. This, you know that UPSC is like this. UPSC asks question like that. They will not ask missile question. But now let's suppose, I'm now pointing out, suppose if UPSC want to ask a question on defense, so what UPSC will do? Gray area, which are not been given that much of highlight. And if you remember that, I have discussed in the classroom this one. This is a gray area. If UPSC has to ask question this year exam, I'm now pinpointing a topic there. One type of question could be asked on submarines. Right? And you remember that I have discussed last time also, there are two types of submarines in India. One is a Scorpion. What is Scorpion submarine? It's from France. You know that? Fast attack submarine, diesel powered submarine. And second, you are aware that India has developed indigenous Arihant, INS Arihant. So one area could be here. Let me pinpoint here. When you will revise, you should make sure submarine. I'm giving another very important area which is there, and you know what UPSC again does? Something which is 2 years back, 3 years back. Suddenly they drop the question. Vikrant. INS Vikrant. You know that? And when INS Vikrant was commissioned, not last year, before that, you know, Kochi Shipyard Limited, Kerala, we have built the aircraft carrier, right? So let's say this one, aircraft carrier, Vikrant, right? So make sure that from the material, you should know all facts. Again, I'm reading here. All facts about Vikrant. Like I'll ask the question from the class. What is Stobar? Stobar. Now this is a fact. Anybody can tell me what is Stobar? Is a part of Vikrant. What is Vikrant? Aircraft carrier. You know that? Long dog is there. So what is STOBAR? It's a very simple word. Short takeoff, but arrested landing. Anybody in the classroom who can tell me? What does this mean? Short takeoff and arrested landing. What is aircraft carrier? What it carries? Fighter jet. Your fighter jets, no? So what I've written here? Short takeoff but arrested is a double R. ARRESTED, arrested landing. You know that they will have a runway. So what happens? The fighter jet has to take off. And when the fighter jet land, you don't have a very lengthy runway. It has to stop very fast. So there's something called wire at the back that get attached and pull it back, or something called arrested landing. Like LCA Tejas, Light Combat Aircraft Tejas, has successfully completed arrested landing. Where? Vikrant. Are you able to understand? The runway is not very long, so they have to take off fast from the runway. At the same time, when they're returning back, when they land on the dock, aircraft carrier will have dock and the runway, it has to immediately stop. That is called arrested landing. And what you will find, there will be some kind of wire system. The moment the fighter jet land, it doesn't land like this. It will land like this, angle. The back side will be lower and this will be upper. And when they land like this one, at the back there is a kind of a system which fixed with the wire. Wire will be on the dock. And when they touch the that one runway, so what will happen? That wire will pull it back. That is called STOBAR system. Where we have this one? Vikrant. So anything about Vikrant. See, Vikrant was there in last 4, 5, 6 years, been in the news. And what UPSC is very smart. They know that now the student would not give importance to Vikrant. They will be reading missiles and all. So you have to just get back to that, because naval defense could be a question. If you remember, I have mentioned this one also word here, torpedo. Can anyone tell me about a torpedo which is the DRDO has built? In Visakhapatnam, Vizag, we have a very important lab there, Naval Science and Technology Lab, where we have in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. And there we have developed a torpedo called Varunastra. Let me write here. Varunastra. Right? Varuna, Varuna is what? Is a god of sea, water, right? Varunastra is a heavyweight torpedo. Torpedo under the water which goes. And what is the torpedo can do? Can destroy submarines. Where the submarines are there? Under the ocean. So this torpedo can hit submarine, enemy submarine. And heavyweight, what is the heavyweight? It can carry more explosives. Submarine will also be very strong, no? Submarine you have to destroy. So you need to have a heavyweight torpedo, not lightweight. This DRDO has developed. Right? So Varunastra could be asked. I'll give you one more area. See, I'm just highlighting which are topic. Let me do one thing. I'll highlight the topic here. So one is this one, Varunastra. You have to make sure to go through it. Maybe direct question can be asked. Very direct question. Varunastra seen in news. ABCD. So there again, that I have read it is a type of torpedo developed by India. Now I'm highlighting another very important topic, which you need to be completely going through from defense point of view. One is a aircraft carrier Vikrant I have mentioned, Varunastra I have given, is a very, very important thing. Anybody in the classroom? What is Marich? From where the word Marich has come? Ramayana. Ravan. The uncle of Ravan. He was a demon. Do you know demon? Rakshas. Right? What do you think Telugu? Rakshas? Death Rakshas? He was a Rakshasa who was sent to forest to elude Rama and Lakshmana from that place where Sita was to be kidnapped. Marich was there in golden deer, you know, golden deer. Now that is a mythology. The name has been given from mythology. But what I'm now bringing here, this Marich is called, I'm writing the thing here, is called anti-torpedo defense system. It protect from attack from enemy's torpedo, ATDS. It protect what? It protect from any kind of torpedo attack from enemy. So what does the Marich contain? Sonar, you know, sonar system. What is sonar? Sound navigation and ranging. So it is basically advanced. It use advanced sonar system to detect. That means underwater. And you know what is sonar works on? Sound. Now what is the technical word for sound? Acoustic. I'll use the word here. ACOUSTIC. Acoustic. See, acoustic is a scientific term. That means sound. So it can detect the sound. Advanced sonar system. And at the same time, what it does? Decoy. What is decoy? Change the path of the torpedo. Or I'll use a simple word. Fool the torpedo. Fool, you know, fooling it. The torpedo will think that the target is somewhere else, not there. Go to some other place. Or you can say divert, distract. Enemy torpedo to some other site there. So what is here called is a decoy system. To divert incoming torpedo. Torpedo will understand the target is somewhere else and will move in that direction. And Marich, I'll tell you, Marich is in the news for last 5-6 years. So what I want to say, in defense you have to go to gray area. Agni, Prithvi, Nag and all this, everybody is aware. And last year already UPSC asked about ballistic missile and cruise missile. Agni and BrahMos and all this. Now you have to see which are the topics where UPSC has not asked in the last 10 years. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 years. Last 10 years of the question paper. Which are the topics of defense from current perspective where question has not been asked, where probably question can be asked in the exam. So these are the gray areas where UPSC can ask question. And again you can get direct question there, right? Then you know, apart from that, sometimes in current affairs, you will come across what? You will come across warships. And you know, sometimes what is happening here? Current affairs, the Hindu paper. You know, sometimes we send the warship to where? Indian Ocean. You know, rescue. Sometimes, you know, rescue. Sometimes, you know, people in distress, they are saved their life. And Indian Ocean, India has a relation with certain countries. You know, Red Sea. You know, Houthi, that group which hijacked that ship and all this. So there, you know, piracy, you know, sometimes maritime piracy. So what we do? Indian Navy send the warship to take them out, all those pirates, right? So again you will be getting again factual thing there, but I'll be giving certain word here. Let's say you'll be coming across this word, corvette. Let me give you idea here, or anybody in the classroom. What is a corvette? What is a corvette? Anybody? What is corvette? Corvette. It's called this one. Anti-submarine warfare. It protects from submarine attack. Let's say if India is attacked by submarine, we can use corvette. What is corvette? Is a warship. Imagine that in the Bay of Bengal, Andhra Pradesh coast, Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea, Mumbai or Gujarat coast, right? And let's say, suppose there's an attack, enemy submarines under the sea. This corvette will be there to help us. So they are built by India. Now India builds such kind of warships there. We have that kind of capability. Hindustan Shipyard Limited, Andhra Pradesh, where? Vizag, Visakhapatnam, is a shipbuilding company. Kochi, Kerala, shipbuilding company. Goa, Goa. There's a place called Marmagaon. Then Mumbai has something called MDL, Mazgaon Dock Limited. In Kolkata we have a GRAC, Garden Ridge Shipbuilders Engineers Limited. These all are government companies, PSUs, and today we are building such kind of warships there. That's what comes there. So in defense area, again you have to read those kind of untouched area. Now air defense. What is there in air defense? Let me come across here. This one. You all know about drone, but now anti-drone. One is a drone. Drone? What is drone? Unmanned aerial vehicles which can fly in the air. And we have indigenous drones, but we have also purchased drones from outside. Now tell me from current affairs, which drone is making headline, which we have purchased from other country? The two. One is this one. Predator. Both for Navy and even for Army and Air Force. We have Predator drone. And this we have done from USA. Now this is a kind of advanced drone, something called combat, can attack enemy targets, right? Another one is this one, Heron. This we have purchased from Israel. Israel is very strong in military technology. And nowadays that Israel-Palestine war, Hamas, and now recently Iran has attacked on the Israel. So that is conflict area which is going on. So now that is important from IR, world affair, geopolitics. At the same time, if you look at the technological development, so these drones play a very important role. Now what we have developed there, DRDO has developed anti-drone system. What is anti-drone system? Which can detect the drone and neutralize it before drone attack us. We can remove the drones or we can kill, we can destroy them. And now I'm giving a very important area which is very, very important from technological point of view. We are developing this anti-drone system using not missile or rocket. See, one way to destroy the drone is what? Rocket or missile. But now we are going to use laser, energetic radiation. So if you look at here, this will use this kind of radiation system. See what can be done. Electromagnetic waves, EM waves, radiations can even sometimes jam, block, right? Sometimes maybe power failure. That we can do use the radiation. Now these are very, very advanced technology which DRDO is working on this. Now tell me, during this Israel-Iran war, something was making headlines recently. How many people are aware of this word? Israel threatened Iran to attack with EMP weapon. EMP weapon. What is EMP? It's called electromagnetic pulse. Electromagnetic pulse. What is pulse? Waves. Imagine there, Iran being attacked by Israel using electromagnetic wave as a weapon. What will happen? It will be do the outage, blackout. It is so powerful wave which can even failure the power grid. I'll tell you how it will work. When you take cable carries a current, electric current. And what electric current has got? Magnetic field around it. Now imagine if we have a pulse of radiation which can destroy that magnetic field. So it will not be able to carry current, grid failure. And now imagine if any country's grid get failed, nothing will work. You have computers, computer systems, everything works with what? Electricity, right? We don't have everywhere backup of battery, battery system backup is not there. So even the military, military of a country, right? They also depend on the power and everything there. Now if everything is failed, no decision making, nothing could be there. This is where the Israel is going. And even DRDO is working on this. There's something called here, let me write here. You can write this one. There's a technology called a DU, Directed Energy Weapon. Directed Energy Weapon. And we are also developing it. That's what is saying that you have to look into those areas of technology which are getting into the news at the same time being developed by our country. Our scientists are working to develop that. Directed energy weapon. And one name which has come in the news last 4-5 years, Kali, and the another is Durga. Right? Kali and Durga. Both are goddess, right? Kali and Durga, right? These are the laser, laser beam. Not only laser, even fast electrons. What I've written here, DU, Directed Energy Weapon, which can kill or destroy missile, drone, aircraft, right? And in future, who knows? Such kind of powerful laser can destroy even satellite. Satellite can be destroyed. So that is what the technology is advancing there. So when the UPSC in the prelims exam, see what is most challenging, science and technology in the prelims exam. Main exam science tech is not challenging. Main exam science tech are very simple question, applied question. What is AI? AI used in healthcare, right? Most difficult part is the prelims exam. And they're asking question from anywhere. Like, last year there was a question about green hydrogen. But now tell me, green hydrogen was in the news. 2 questions were asked, right? Green hydrogen means what? Hydrogen obtained from water, breaking of water, renewable sources. Simple questions were there. There was a question asked about this, airbag, when the car crash, right? This is a common question was asked. So the questions are not difficult. Factual question, I'll tell you, factual question was, which country has got its own kind of navigation system? Japan. That was direct question was there. So if you look at the question paper of the last year, science tech questions were very varied. And they tried not to ask from coaching institute materials. It was not covered in all this. Green hydrogen was there, but other questions were not in the institute material there, particularly the most famous one. People read PT 365 and all this one. They didn't ask question. I'm telling you the fact. And openly I'm saying, honestly I'm saying, they are not revising up to that level. So what is very important? For prelims, science and technology, diversified topics. Look at those topics which are diversified topics in defense, where possibly question can be asked. Right? This is what I'm highlighting there. These are the topics you have to follow. Now air defense, drone I have mentioned, anti-drone I have mentioned, energy weapons I have mentioned. Another thing what comes here, fighter craft. Now which fighter crafts India is using right now? MiG, Sukhoi, NEERAJ, Rafale. Now what is the highlighted area? This one. This is Rafale. Last 5-6 years, it has always been the political agenda also, When Rafale deal was being done, that time it was a political agenda also. The amount of money India paid to the France, from where we have purchased this one? France, Dassault. And we were having that one. And what is another thing what we have? This one. So what is the gray area? Tejas. Tejas in the news last 2-3 years. and we have already commissioned Tejas, right? And definitely question can be asked. Now tell me about Tejas. What are the basic features of Tejas? It's made of composite material, lightweight, right? Carbon reinforced fiber, lightest in this class, halka. What is called lightweight? That's the fighter jet is there. Second thing is what? It is not fifth generation. India doesn't have fifth generation fighter aircraft. It comes in which generation of fighter craft? This Tejas and even Rafale also. Both Rafale and Tejas, they are not fifth generation. It comes into 4.5 generation. What do you mean by 4.5? Is evolved, is advanced than fourth generation, but less than the fifth generation. And what is so unique about such kind of fighter craft? What is so unique about it? Air, land, water, day and night. And they can be refueled in the mid-air. They can be refueled. You have seen the refueling? Of aircraft will come there. They'll connect with the pipe and they'll fuel the aircraft. Refueling in the air. They don't have to come down to the ground. Night time, what is very important? When the attack happens, when the fighter jet attack, night time. When it's dark, they do the bombing. Right? Daytime they avoid. Why they avoid daytime? Because they can be detected by enemy and can be destroyed. So they prefer the nighttime bombing. So there should be the aircraft or fighter jet which can fly in the night and can detect the targets and destroy them. So that is a feature of this Tejas and everything. Right? Rafale is also based on that. What is another name of Rafale? Rafale is said to be this one. Anybody in the class? So what is MMRCA? Medium mode. Let me write here. MMRC stands for medium mode, medium multiple role, another is multiple role combat aircraft. This is Rafale. Medium mode, multiple role. What does it mean by multiple role? Day and night, land, air, water. Different type of targets can be destroyed by Rafale. It's a very advanced, we have a deal with France. Right? And you know that this time Republic Day, the Republic Day, but we celebrated 75 years of Republic Day, 26 January. French, who is the president there? Manuel. He was there in India. And we are celebrating 25 years of strategic partnership with France. Submarine, Scorpion, again we're part of France. Even satellite and other technology with France. Even part of a fighter jet, France. So 100% I am sure something linked with the part of France, UPSC is going to ask the question. Because the 25 years that we are celebrating. So maybe technological thing can be asked in the exam about the France. Again remember that. See, who can really get into the question? Who knows the psychology of UPSC? If you catch the psychology of UPSC, you are there. You can solve question. And you'll be able to identify topics. This is where the examiner will go. Examiners are those people who are question setters are out of box. They go out of box. And they have an idea about what is going in the market. So that they set the question. Right? That's what I said, that when you are reading any coaching student material, make sure that does it has that kind of a thing there. Whether they are covering those kind of areas or not. So defense, these are the highlighted area which you need to study properly. Right? Now what I'm coming here, another part of it, science and technology, which is I'm very sure that this year, because if you look at nuclear energy, it has already been asked in mains exam. Now let me give you an idea here. First time question on this was asked in 2011, 2012. If you look at prelims question, UPSC asked, I'll give you what question was asked. 2011, the question was about this. Use of heavy water. If you go to previous year question, prelims 2011, there was a direct question. Heavy water used as ABCD, as a coolant, as a moderator. It was given to slow down the neutron. It was written like that. To slow down the neutron, to cool the reactor, control. It was written ABCD. You know that heavy water in today is used for both purpose, moderator and the coolant. But what is the main role of heavy water? The moderator. What do you mean by moderator? Slowing down the neutron. Primary role is to slow down the neutron. But even we can do coolant, also using heavy water. It has got a dual role. Now 2012 question, UPSC asked about this one. Just look at the question paper, you'll find 3 statements were given. Thorium with respect to uranium. Now what was the statement? First statement was that thorium is more abundant than uranium. Right? That is fact was given. And you know that worldwide, not only India, even the worldwide, thorium is more than uranium. Yesterday I have mentioned about this rare earth metals, right? Lanthanide and actinide. And we have a huge deposit of thorium in monazite sands. Even monazite was asked 2022. If you look at this one, prelims 2022, you find this question about monazite. Where we have monazite sands? You know Kerala, coastal, right? Kollam is a place in Kerala. Coastal beaches of Kerala we have a monazite sand, which contain thorium. We can extract the thorium from there. Right? That question was asked. Second was that nuclear waste. What happens when you use uranium, plutonium, thorium? After reaction will be waste, hazardous waste. Thorium produces less than uranium. Uranium produces more. Again, the advantage of using thorium, right? And at the same time, electricity generation, power generation. So which will generate more power? Using uranium or thorium? Which will produce more power, electricity? Uranium. That's what worldwide is uranium used. That type of question was asked. Then again, mains exam, 2 questions was asked. Now let me tell you about, if you look at main exam, there were 2 times question. One question was, give an account of India's nuclear power technology there. Nuclear development. You know, science and technology development. And the same question has advantages of, now it is making headline. What is FBR? Fast breeder reactor. Just go back to the mains question paper. You will find in 2020 question there. Then another question was asked, why India is advancing nuclear power? Right? What is the reason for India to develop nuclear power? Ambitious plan. We have an ambitious plan to develop nuclear technology, nuclear power. And second part of the question was fear and risk with nuclear technology. You know the fear. What is fear? Accident, safety, no? Nuclear safety. Mains question. UPSC asked the question. So I am sure that this year nuclear technology will reappear in the prelims exam. This is just a good idea. Now let's look at what topics can be asked this year exam, prelims exam, in nuclear science and technology. Right? I'll bring it collectively on the board here, where you have to prepare for the question there. This part you are able to, I've just given you background. Sometimes what UPSC does, 4 or 5 years back, question in mains exam. Then the question comes in pre-exam. Even this, the trend is there. Question asked in pre-exam comes in mains exam after gap of 2 to 3 years. So nuclear is making headlines. The first area which I'm highlighting in nuclear, you have to read this one. Okay, let me ask the question here. I had discussed last time also, but again, I'm just bringing here. Where we are having this FBR reactor constructed in India, Kalpakkam. That you are aware. In Tamil Nadu, we have their nuclear park. What was in the news? The Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the present Prime Minister, he went to Kalpakkam to start the reactor, and very soon this reactor will attain criticality. What is the word here? Criticality. So where the UPSC can catch you the word? This one. What do you mean by criticality? Huh? Criticality. What do you mean criticality? Any reactor? When you say nuclear reactor has become critical, so what does that mean, critical? Right? Critical has got different meaning, right? Sometimes we say health is critical, right? Emergency, right? ICU and everything there. Sometimes we use ecological aspect also, right? Where some species are in critical condition. Now here you have another critical word, but that is a nuclear reactor becoming critical. So you should not take the literal meaning. What is literal meaning? Critical means emergency. So here critical doesn't means that it is going to burst or explode, right? Critical has meaning here. It is basically means sustained, controlled fission chain reaction. Nuclear reactor generate power using chain reaction, fission. As a controlled one, as sustained. That means continuously it will produce power. Unstoppable will produce power and will be in a controlled condition through the chain reaction. If a reactor attain that criticality, it will run for months, 6 months, 1 year, producing electricity, right? And we have developed here this FBR will produce 500 megawatt. One single reactor will produce 500 megawatt electricity in 1 year. And that will go to where? Grid. We have a grid, power supply will feed into the grid. So that is where we have started now. And now tell me, when the UPSC has to go into depth, sometime question may be getting depth. So what type of fuel it use? This reactor. What is the fuel here? Good, very good. It basically convert uranium-238 into plutonium. What it does? What is something called transmutation, irradiation. Not uranium-235. Again, remember that. UPSC is very smart. In the question paper, use uranium-235. And many people think uranium-235. Wrong. Uranium-238. Not enrich here. Not enrich. It is simply, it will take uranium-238, that is processed from first reactor. What is first reactor? PHWR. We take it out. We process it. And then use in the FBR. So what this FBR will do? Using fast, why is it called fast? Neutrons. Convert plutonium. No moderator use here. And what is the coolant here? Here coolant is not water. Boron is used as a controller. It is cooled by liquid sodium. There is jacket of liquid sodium which cool the reactor. We are using liquid sodium, no water, no heavy water. That means there is no heavy water. There is no use of heavy water here. Liquid sodium is used in the jacket to cool the reactor. And here boron, controller, if you look at, controller is based on boron. That is a controller. What is the use of controller? It absorbs neutrons. This is what it is done there. So this could be a question this year exam, FBR. And what I told you right now, it was once asked in the mains exam. So again, the UPSC can get back to the question paper, right? Can ask about, and it is there in the news. Now tell me one more thing. When the UPSC has to ask the question, this FBR has got another very important development and very important thing linked with our future nuclear power program. So what is that thing? Thorium utilization. Another thing is that this can also help See, remember that thorium, we have enough of thorium. We have so much of thorium that we can go for continuously for 200 years, more than 200 years electricity generation. But the problem with thorium is that we cannot use directly thorium. We cannot use directly thorium. Like we use directly what? Uranium. What we can use? Natural uranium directly. But thorium cannot be used. So what do we require? Convert thorium into uranium. And how will convert thorium to uranium? Let me write here. If you remember, I have discussed in the classroom that thorium has got this one. FBr will convert into this one, uranium. Which uranium? This one. 233. Not 235. See here what is 232. So when we use neutron, it will absorb neutron. 232 will absorb neutron and convert it to 233 uranium. Now tell me, this uranium 233, is it available naturally in the earth crust? No. What the earth crust has got when we do the mining? Uranium 235 and 238. So we are producing where 233, where? FBr. And this will be used where? Third stage. Third stage reactor. Where we will use the thorium. So I have given you summary. See, FBr has got all this area. Fast breeder reactor. Right? So when the UPSC will ask question, it will go into all such areas. All such areas will be touched upon in the exam. And one can get the question. Right? I'll now come into another area of nuclear technology, which was in the news and Amigos have covered it. What I've done here, let's say I have gone some kind of question there, which is there. I'll be coming to that one. I'll give an idea there. Let me just complete this one. Are you able to understand? Just take CSAT papers, solve it. GS, be confident, you will be able to solve it. And again, remember that UPSC will give you balanced question paper. What is balanced question paper? Minimum 10 question from every subject. Just keep this point in mind. Minimum 10 question you will get from every subject. Here, this one, this anti-drone system, it was mentioned during the Republic Day parade also there. DRDO, this what you find here. See, neutralization part is given here. Is India has a Indian Army has given here. This is what the name given, D4 something, D4 system they have given. But sometimes DRDO use some kind of a unique name. That name has not a long range detection neutralization D4 system. They have given that one. Right? ADAC, I'll give you. What is ADA? That is again the anti-drone. But sometimes you'll find AAD, Advanced Air Defense. Right? Like you see this one mentioned here, DRDO part of it. So now they are trying to develop there, but they have not given any. Like for example, I mentioned that Marich or some names. So maybe they may give some kind of area there. Right? Is there any name given there? You have found anywhere? Yeah, but they have just mentioned D4 name there. So maybe they can give some name there, some kind of name to identify the system there. Now, what I was saying here? This particular one which I have just mentioned here. It is not going next page. Which one? No, right corner, but this is a complete page has come up. See, this notepad is not coming there. So anyway, let me do one thing here. He has opened this one. No? Let me do one thing.